YouTube host Steven Crowder recently made a joke about punching Democratic Representative Adam Schiff.
How is Adam Schiff allowed to call anything racist on behalf of any race?
It's a good point.
It's the whitest looking human being I've ever seen.
Yes.
He does.
It's they could do a remake of Powder.
Yes, they
He
could.
looks like the Penguin.
Hey, let me tell you, he's just he's shifty. That's why his name is Schiff.
That's a good point.
He's I'll say it. I'll say it.
Yep.
It wasn't a joke. He's just a creep.
Yep. And everything that he touches politically becomes Ausshift.
That's right.
Turns to shift.
He's the Ausschiff
Does turn to Schiff.
of political candidates.
He's a cartoon.
Yes, he is.
I believe he's just a cartoon walking among us.
Hey, Tricks, kids, beat him up.
Yeah, no kidding. He doesn't deserve your tricks.
Silly Schiff. Silly Schiff. J-Man for kids. Now, let me just recap this for you.
Hit me.
There's a cartoon that we asked to do that, by the, way.
Cartoon,
just to be
the
clear.
Tricks cartoon.
The tricks, yes, we don't. Ugh. You do what you want.
Thanks, YouTube.
Are on YouTube.
I keep forgetting. It was a fun 2 weeks.
Yeah, I beat him. Oh, you know what? We're actually kidding because, we're just talking about a cartoon. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. It's just a cartoon. Don't worry about it. Look, are these guys supposed to be comedians? I don't know. Like, is that show supposed to be funny? Or what? I don't understand what the appeal of it is. I don't. I don't know. Maybe it's because my brain hasn't melted and hasn't oozed out of my ears. I don't understand. Why are these people entertaining? Why do people watch them? I don't know. But okay. That said, let's go to Ausschiff, right? You heard that. Ausschiff. So basically you're comparing Adam Schiff to a Nazi? Is that what you're saying? But we're not promoting violence or anything like that. We're just calling our opposing, Democrat a Nazi because we can. Oh, okay. Now, that said, let me show you more of the context here, because earlier in that video, he actually talked about Nazis. And, of course, he gets it wrong.
Yeah,
Right.
Hitler must have been right-wing. Why? Because you've never heard that it had socialist in the name, and every single policy was, of course, radically socialist. That's one thing people try. They think they'll put you on your heels like, you're saying Hitler was a liberal? I'm saying Hitler was a leftist. Yeah, of course I am. Of course I am. Yeah. The only argument that you have is that, well, he was racist. And the only reason someone would say, well, I'd put that on the right-wing side of the ledger is because you say that right-wingers are racist. I say I put on the leftist side of the ledger Hitler, when you look at his centralized government planning, when you look at disarming people, when you look at his I say, well, also the socialism, because it's in the name.
Well, there's a lot in there. Wow. Oh, look, Hitler's left. The only problem they had with Hitler was the racism. Wait, what? I'm sorry, what? The whole plunging the entire world into world war, the warmongering, the Holocaust, all that stuff. Oh, but the only problem with the left, has about Hitler is just a racism. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And by the way, so again, there's so much wrong there. So many points that he just completely lies about, butchers the facts on everything. Oh yeah, banning guns. Yep. No, he expanded gun rights, gun ownership. Just restricted it to certain people, like Jewish people, whom he blamed for everything and demagogued constantly. But yeah, let's ignore that though. Let's ignore that. Oh, and socialist is the name. So obviously that makes it socialist. Really? So are you saying that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea, is democratic? Hey, it's got democratic in the name. Obviously, they're the People's Republic of China. They're a republic. I mean, if we're just going to assign no meanings to words whatsoever, then sure, I guess any word could mean anything, Stephen. Like I could call you a strong male, role model, but it wouldn't mean anything. At least in the case of Steven Crowder. I mean, look at him sitting there pretending to be a tough guy. Oh, I'm wearing a holster. I'm wearing a gun. Yeah, it makes me a tough guy. I'm all strapped and ready to go. No, he would scream and cry the first time he hears a gunshot. Please. Please. But look, again, they started the segment with Hitler's a leftist. Again, Hitler was a fascist. Fascists are far right. And called him Ostschiff in a reference to Auschwitz, right? And then, of course, proceeded to joke about beating him up. And by the way, that last part was like, it was just a joke. It's just a cartoon. Yeah, it's how far they want to go to avoid being held accountable. This comes in the context, again, that was earlier today. Over the weekend, there was an unhinged lunatic that went into a LGBT bar that hosted drag shows and shot 25 people. So, and it's probably going to come out like a lot of these mass shooters that they were fans of, people like Alex Jones, Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson. And yet they're the ones who project and say, oh no, that's the left that's really violent. People on the right constantly using violent language and imagery against the left all the time. We gotta stop the left. The left's destroying America. They're grooming your children. They're stealing your freedom. They're taking your guns. Are you gonna do something about it? But I didn't say do violence specifically. Oh, no. We're against that. Except that you got to do something. When are you going to do something? When are you going to do something? How are you going to do to stop them? What are you going to do to stop them? Don't you believe in the Second Amendment? I believe in the Second Amendment. Yeah, message received. Just once, could they actually have a conversation about policy that doesn't evolve into complete, total madness? Lies? No, apparently not, because if they did, they would lose a lot of people. They would lose the rabid base of people who tuned in to get outraged on a daily basis. And that's what Steven Crowder's show is all about. It's nothing more than just outrage. Constant outrage. And by the way, he wants to talk about drag queens, which, by the way, he didn't in this case, but if he ever does, and he probably will, Steven Crowder takes every opportunity he can to dress up as a woman. Watch the show before, you know that this is true. I don't think there's anything wrong with him doing it, but again, he seems to think so. He seems to think it's wrong when everybody else does it. Just saying. At a time when the right wing is responsible for the majority of terror in this country, you'd think that, people who are influencers might want to cool it down and bring people together. Try to take away from this air of violence, but instead, Crowder, you can see what his main priority was, and that's just to avoid being demonetized or losing his ability to live stream on YouTube in order to make money. That's who Steven Crowder is.